Wonderful. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. So, good evening, all. Myself, Sudharshan, studying 7th Sem Civil in City Engineering College. So, today I am going to share my learning report on practical aspects of construction management. So, moving on with my next slide. Before moving on with my next slide, I thank Ashok sir and Deepa Shri ma'am for giving me an opportunity to share my learning report. So, these are the contents which I am going to share now. Reading of construction plans, methodology or method statement, shuttering, bill of quantities, quality control and quality assurance, project planning, construction site safety, residential interior webinars, and conclusion. So moving on with the next first topic is about reading of construction plans. As a site engineer or construction engineer, reading a construction plan is an essential skill. As you can see in this image, it is of two-dimensional architectural drawings, which gives information such as dimensions, parts, placements, and materials, including building codes, installation techniques, measurements, and quality standards. So title block. The very first thing which you have to note when the plan is given to you is title block, where it gives information such as project name, the drawing titles, project reference number, structural consultant, architects, client's name, and etc. And this is how a title block looks like. And the purpose of issue is very important while reading a title block. We should check whether it is good for construction or not. So moving on with the next slide, it is about notes. As the notes is given, once the title block is read, we should check with the notes because all the details cannot be explained in a plan. So they give you a detailed explanations in the part of notes. So where we get information such as dimensions, whether it should be read as per the scale or not, and what are the dimensions being used in the plans like meters or feet, etc. And what are the mixed designs used for the foundations and columns like M25 or M30. And as you can see in this 16 point where we can see that what are the clear cover sizes to be provided. For footings, it should be provided by 50 mm, and columns 40 mm, beams 40 mm or 30 mm, slabs 25 or 20 mm. So moving on to the next slide, it's about legend. Legend is nothing but the symbolic representation of a detailed explanation in a plan. This is also given for an identification purpose because all the details cannot be explained in a plan. So where we get informations like which indicates the door number, room number, what are the corner guards being used, and revision numbers, etc. And this will be always be displayed in a tabular form. So next is schedules. Schedules is also given for an identification purpose in a plan because a plan might consist of various different sizes of doors, windows, and ventilators, which also gives information at what sill levels it should be provided and what are the number of doors to be used, etc. As you can see in this tabular column. And next is bar bending schedules will also be provided in a plan where we get informations like what is the dia of the bar being used and what is the spacing to be provided and cutting length and unit lengths to be used. So next concept is about methodology or method statement. It is nothing but it is a form of document wherein it states the procedure of an activity at a site, including safety. So before excavation, these are the following things to be noted before preparing for excavations. That we should study the layout and center line drawings, and we should also make sure that both are matching or not. If not, it should be get corrected by the help of clients or architects, and check with the utility services inside the boundary. If anything found, it should be shifted before the start of excavations. And marking as a layout and center line by manual method or as well as by instrumental method, where manual method includes right angle method or 3, 4, 5 methods. So it is also known as Pythagoras theorem method. And by instrumental, we can use theodolite and total sessions for marking. So during excavation and foundation, we should always take 5 meters levels on both x and y axis, and also we should arrange for proper machineries and labors. We should check with the center line or layout with clients. We should prepare a checklist and get its signature of approval. And we should also excavate about 300 mm on extras on all the sites for working space, which is payable under IS 1200. We should also arrange a space for excavated earth, which can be used for backfilling in the construction itself. So the next is mass excavation. It is nothing but the process of moving earth, rock, or other materials with tools, equipments, or explosives. Which includes the trenching, wall shafts, tunneling, and undergrounds, which also includes different processes like digging and site developments. So next is soil nailing. It is nothing but the ground stabilization technique that can be used on either natural or excavated slopes. It involves drilling holes for steel bars to be inserted into a slope face, which are then grouted in place. The meshes are being provided, as you can see in this image. It should be the meshes has been used, and it should be done for every 1.5 meter below the grounds. So next is shuttering. Shuttering, first of all, moving when the shuttering, as the name shuttering been used, it is footing shuttering because it is the first step for construction sites. When the construction starts, construction. Sorry, this is the first step of any concrete constructions. Starts with the construction of foundation. So foundations can be of columns or walls, and before placing of reinforcement, we should also check the former soil strata. The size and shape of footings are being designed based on the type of structural member being used. So next is column shuttering. It is nothing but they are subjected to lateral pressure because of their small cross section, large heights, and relative high rates of concrete placements. Tight joints and strong tie support should be provided to the formworks. As the sizes of column increases, the stiffness of the formwork must be increased by either increasing thickness of sheathing or the vertical stiffness must be added to prevent sheathing deflection. It should be aligned to its verticality, and the diagonal should be checked to ensure the accuracy of dimensions. Next is the slab shuttering. Slab formwork essentially supports the weight of the concrete during the curing process, and when the concrete slab is positioned on permanent supports. Bases also known as sills, which supports the vertical hinges, which in turn supports the horizontal joints. The horizontal joints creates a flat surface where timber, plywood, steel sheets, aluminum, or fiberglass can be used as a base. So next is beam shuttering. In that, plinth beam is as shown in the figure, which is a reinforced concrete beam constructed between the walls and the foundation, which and it also provided to prevent the extension or propagation of cracks. The next concept is about bill of quantities. So bill of quantities is to be read with the drawings and specifications with priority of documents. If any difference or discrepancy found in the plan, it should be reported to the engineer before commencing work. And the proper execution of the work with true intent, meaning of the drawing and the documents forming part of the contract should be provided reasonably necessary. The prices and rates should be inclusive of all works, materials, and expenditure as described in the contract documents. If any omissions or additions to the contract sum, that is the if any additions of costs or any material cost should be added, should be based on the measured quantities applying to the relevant unit rates found in the bill of quantities. So next concept is quality control and quality assurance. Quality control is a process where the business seeks to ensure the product quality is maintained or improved. Its major aspect is to establish a well-defined controls where these well-defined controls standardize both the production and reactions to quality issues. So next is quality assurance. So it is defined as an activity to ensure that the organization is providing the best product or service to the customers. So the major comparison between quality assurance and quality control are quality assurance is a managing tool, whereas quality control is a corrective tool. Quality assurance is a process oriented, whereas quality control is a product oriented. Quality assurance is a prevention of defects. Quality controls is a detection of defects. And quality assurance performed in parallel with the project, whereas quality control performed after the final product is being ready. So these are the following tests to be conducted on materials such as cement, steel, aggregate, sands, sand, blocks or bricks, and concrete. So first of all, moving with the concept cement, cement will be checked both in field test as well as in the lab. The field tests mainly consists of we should check with the date of manufacture whether it should be used within 90 days or not, and the color should be greenish gray. And the physical feel is nothing but it should give a cool feel when you insert your hand into the bag, and it should give a smooth feel when you take a pinch of cement. And float test is nothing but when you take pinch of cement and immerse it in a bucket of water, it should float for some time and then sink. So presence of lump, if any lumps is present in a bag of cement, it should be discarded. And shape test. Lab test for cement initial setting time and final setting time, where we use VCAT apparatus for testing this initial and final settings of time of cement. So next is steel test on steels. So tensile strength, chemical test, elongation, and compression tests are tensile strength, compression test, elongation test, and compression test are being tested in the labs, where we use universal testing machines, as you can see in this image. Bend and rebend test should be also being tested in fields where it should not break or crack. Weight per RMT is also done in fields. So test on aggregates. There are two types of aggregates, namely coarse aggregates and fine aggregates. The coarse aggregates are the one which is more than above 4.75 mm, and the one which is below 4.75 are named are called as fine aggregates. The tests to be carried on coarse aggregates are sieve analysis, flakiness index, elongation index, color and shape, water absorption. Sieve analysis nothing but as you can see in this image, it should be arranged in descending manner where the aggregates being collected in different sieve sizes. It can be done either in manually or by using vibrator machines. Flakiness index is used it is used for checking the thickness of the aggregates, where it is the least dimension is 0.6 times the mean dimensions. Elongation index is used to check the length of the aggregates, where the largest dimension is larger than 1.8 times the mean dimension. And water absorption test is also being done for coarse aggregates, where we immerse the coarse aggregates for 24 hours in a water. It should not be less than 20%. Fine aggregate test is also being done for by using sieve analysis, as the same case, of course, where we say arrange the sieve sizes below 4.75 in a descending order. So, and also a silt content test is also being done in fine aggregates. So test on blocks. Test on blocks is done by compressive strength, which should not be less than 3.5 Newton per mm square, and water absorption test, which should not be less more than 20%. Soundness test and efflorescent test, as you can see in this image, it gives a white patches on the bricks when immersed in water for 24 hours. And check for inside texture. We should also check for inside textures, whether any cracks or scratches been found. So next is test on concrete. Test on concrete is done for by compressive strength, slump test, and water cement ratio. Slump test for site mix, it should not be less than 60 mm, and for RMC it should not be less than 100 mm. There are three types of slumps, as you can see in this image: collapse slump, shear slump, and true slump. Collapse slump is found when the water cement ratio is more, and true slump is commonly seen, which can be used for construction. It's good for construction too. So documents required for quality assurance. These are documents which are required for quality assurance: a level book, measurement book, steel register, steel test report, concrete cube register, site instruction book, slump test register, drawing register, documents related to test conducted on coarse aggregates or fine aggregates, checklist for every each activity signed by client or representative. So these are some examples which I have given in a pictorial representation. This is a level book which gives information like serial number, backside, intermediate side, foresights, height of instruments, and reduced levels and remarks. So this is a concrete cube register where we get informations like the date of casting, curing days like 7 or 28 days test, and date of testings, and weight of cube, sizes of cube, etc. So moving on with the next concept is about project planning, where project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product or result. The project goals are achieved, and when the project is completed, a successful project is one which meets the expectations of stakeholders. So need for a project. So these are the basic needs for taking a project. It should satisfy the market demand, business need, customers request, and technological advances, the advanced technologies like instruments, machineries, etc. And legal or statutory requirements also is used in a project. So key areas of project managements are time management, scope management, risk management, quality management, etc. These are the areas where project management is used. So major aspects of planning and monitoring are outline bar chart, plant and machinery, manpowers like labors, etc., materials and cost estimation, and fund required. Stages of planning. At the first stage, it should be planned in a tendering stage, and followed by on award of contract. And it is also being planned at the stage of monthly plans, weekly plans, and day-to-day plans, where monthly planning is done during execution of the project, weekly planning at a sectional level, and day-to-day plan at individual levels. So planning in projects or planning in baselines is done in planning in baseline, planning in monitoring and control, project closing, and key terminologies. So the type of contracts being used, there are many contracts. I have just noted 4 contracts, like some lump sum or fixed price contract. These are the type of contract where the contractor agrees to perform the work specified and described in the contract for fixed price. It can only be changed upon the execution of a change order. So unit price contract. These are the type of contract which are based on anticipated quantities of items which are counted in the project in addition to their unit prices. It depends upon the quantities required to carry out the work. A cost plus fixed fee contract. These are the contracts where it provides for payment to the contractor of a negotiated fee that is fixed, and the fixed fee does not vary with actual cost but may be adjusted as a result of changes in the work to be performed under the contract. So cost plus fixed percentage contract compensation. It is based on the percentage of the cost the customer agrees to repay the contractor's actual cost regardless of amount, and in addition pay a negotiated fee independent of the amount of the cost actual cost. The main outcomes of following stages are precise construction schedule and method statement, detailed cost estimation with overheads including labor cost, etc. Final sales price, tender negotiations, clarifications, and award of contract. Final contract agreement. The skill sets required for various role players, like different types of structures, drawing study and engineering aspects, structural works, finishing works, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing works, and pre-engineered building works, etc. So requirements for understanding the project. The basic requirements for understanding a project are: we need a client, what the type of project to be implemented, type of contractor, project location and layout, master plan, number of structures to be planned, scope of work, specifications, cost of the project, time, duration. As you can see in this image, this shows the location or layout plan, and this is the overall master plan. So project team lead team, client architects, structural designers, electrical consultants, plumbing consultants, and contractor. These all put together to form a project lead team. Structure. RCC frame structure in compliance to seismic zone 3 with tilt floor as car parking, where tilt floor is nothing but when the car is parked in a ground floor, it is known as tilt floor. So for external walls, 200 mm of thick solid blocks with is being provided with cement plaster finish. 100 mm thick solid blocks for internal walls with cement plaster finish. So doors and windows. First quality teak wood door frame with solid core flush shutter finished with veneer on both sides should be provided for the main doors. Where one first quality Burma style wood door frame with hot press flush shutter finished with enamel paint on both sides should be provided for internal doors and toilet doors. UPVC glass sliding windows with mosquito mesh should be provided for windows, where UPVC stands for unpolarized polyvinyl chloride, and it is also been used as an openable door for balcony French door. This image shows the French door representation. And glazed louvered ventilators are used for toilet ventilators. Next is the CP and sanitary fittings. So the white color Parryware or equivalent brand floor mounted is used for European water closet with PVC flush tank, and white color rectangular wash basin Parryware equivalent brand with CP tap is used for wash basin, where CP tap is nothing but the chromium plated tap, as you can see in this image. SS shower fixture with 2-in-1 wall mixer with overhead shower arm, stainless steel single bowl sinks at kitchens being used. So construction site safety. As the construction site safety, um, there are some methods or the constructions where accidents occur, where 56% of accidents occurs due to fall from heights, and 21% occur due to trapped by something collapsing or overturning. 10% is occurred due to struck by a moving vehicle. 5% is occurred due to contact with electricity or electrical discharge. 4% is due to struck by a flying or falling object during machine lifting or materials. 3% is due to contact with moving machinery or material being machined. 1% is due to exposure to hot or harmful substance. So working at things to be noted when working at height is using ladders or scaffolding without proper fixing is harmful. You should also never use an incomplete scaffoldings while working at heights. Make sure there are head rails and toe boards at all edges. Wearing helmet is very important because things might fall on sites. Before starting work at heights, check for clearance from any overhead power lines. Safe ladders. These are the things which a safe ladder, um, a safe ladders being noted. Never allow more than one person on a ladder. So only one person should be working on a ladder. Um, there shouldn't be any other labor working under a ladder. So using of tool belts or hand lines to carry objects. Do not lean out from the ladder in any direction. If any fear of heights for an labor, you should not climb, and do not allow others to work under a ladder in use. So these are the crane safety. These are the crane safeties while working under a site. So the weight of land must be carefully estimated so that it can withstand the crane weight. And the crane must be fitted with an automated safe load indicator. The crane must always work on an odd level base. The load must be properly fixed and secured. The banksman must be trained to give clear signals. Electricity, it should be treat electricity with respect. If any damages or wounds, it should be corrected during construction sites. Keep trailing cables off the ground and away from water. Never overload or use makeshift plugs and fuses. So working near sewage, when working near sewage, we should be careful that we should understand the risk, and we should understand how you may be infected, and wear protective clothings. Avoid well. Apply good personal hygiene. Change out of contaminated clothing. Clean equipments and boots, etc. on sites. So PPE on sites, where PPE stands for personal protective equipment, and these are the basic requirements used while working under a site: hard hat, safety boots, high vis jackets, safety glasses, and nowadays masks are also very important while working under a site. So next concept is about residential interiors. As the name suggests, it is a very important concept in civil engineering, where wardrobe, where the room or area where the clothes are being kept. It is also cabinet used to hang clothes, as you can see in these images. Living room, it is nothing but the project comprises a kitchen, bathroom, and bathroom and bed and storage that all fold away into a cubic red box, and the folded away surroundings can be used for workspace or public functions. So modular kitchen, it is a term used for modern kitchen furniture layout consisting of modules of cabinets made of diversified materials, which can facilitate the effective usage of the spaces in a kitchen. So puja unit, the puja room is always located at the corner of Indian rooms. However, nowadays, especially in urban areas, having a dedicated place for prayer is a luxury. So Crocker unit is nothing but an ornamental furniture unit that adorns the kitchen area or dining area. It is a wooden crockery cabinet completes decor of a kitchen area. Shoe rack. It is a furniture piece unit which keeps pair of shoes together and organized. So foyer unit is nothing but which connects the entrance to various other rooms. So these are the major materials used in interiors, where there are two types of woods: manufactured woods as well as solid woods. Where manufactured woods consist of chipboards, fiber board, and plywood, and the solid woods consist of pine, beech, ash, oak, maple, walnut, and mahogany. So these are the unit conversions done during design of interiors. So as you can see in this image. So the next is finishes in interiors. So there are three types of finishes, namely laminate finish, veneer finish, and duco finish. Laminate finish is a thin glass-like film or finish which gives a glossy finish over the wooden surface, as you can see in this image. Sorry. You can see in this image. Veneer finish is a thin layer of real hardwood applied to a less expensive material such as plywood. Plywood is the cheapest material, cheapest wood. So everything, so all the interiors is being used plywood for interior designing. Duca finish is nothing but it is a paint which is used on a long wearing attractive, which gives a high glossy finish on interior wooden surfaces. The next is quality checks. These are the quality checks to be conducted in a interior. So we should check with chipping of laminates, sharp edges of laminates, whether any scratches been seen, dent marks, and if any grains mismatch, color mismatch, ducal mismatch, alignments, edge banding not finished properly, etc. So this is electrical works, how the interior has been designed, and these are the circuits uh, which is being taken during the construction itself, and they are being covered with plaster of Paris for an aesthetic appearance. So webinars. Next concept is about webinars. These are some of the webinars which I have attended during my internship. So self-compaction concrete, which was explained by Dr. Jagdish Vengala, and green building concepts and green education was explained by Rekha Chandra. Introduction to building information modeling (BIM) was explained by Hima ma'am. IoT, that is Internet of Things in construction, is explained by Dr. Gulshan Taj MNA. Cracking an interview was conducted by Vijay. Work breakdown structures in construction project was conducted by Shivaraman. Campus to concrete by Deepak V. Tendering and estimation of infrastructure projects was explained by Sandesh Bharadwaj. Sharplay former was conducted by Mr. Sandeep Verma. So thank you. I thank Ashok sir for giving an opportunity. It was a great experience working with the Prayojana.